Have any complications from a previous or problems from previous implant, the LA Dentist Group can help. You'll smile again, you'll eat the foods you've missed. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say dentist. It's pound 250 on the cell, say dentist. To schedule your free exam, including x-rays and CT scan. Some restrictions apply. Go to ladentistgroup.com, pound 250 on the cell, say dentist, or visit ladentistgroup.com.
Don't miss the riveting Broadway hit, A Few Good Men, October 28th to November 20th. Tickets at LaMaradaTheater.com.
Gettle AC and Plumbing, GOETTL. It'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
KFI.
More stimulating talk.
An iHeart radio station.
Ordered former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows to testify before a special grand jury investigating whether President Trump and his allies illegally tried to influence the 2020 election in the state of Georgia. Fulton County DA Fani Willis opened the investigation early this year. And because Meadows lives in South Carolina, Fani Willis had to use a process that involved getting a judge in that state to order him to appear in Georgia. 3 men convicted of supporting a plot to kidnap Michigan's governor. It's a victory for state prosecutors after months of mixed results in the main case in federal court. Joe Morrison, Pete Musico, and Paul Beller found guilty today of providing material support for a terrorist act as members of a paramilitary group. And a jury also convicted a man in Wisconsin of killing 6 people, injuring dozens of others when he drove his SUV into a Christmas parade last year. At one point, one of the people in the gallery, after the judge read a guilty verdict on first-degree intentional homicide, somebody in the gallery yelled out, "Burn in hell, you piece of S." And then the judge, needless to say, kicked that person out of the courtroom.
Well, the Shake Alert system...
Earthquake! Warning has been issued to California!
The Shake Alert system, finally a reality for over 50 million people here on the West Coast. As I mentioned before the break, this has been over a decade in development. They've got 903 buried sensors in California that can mobilize cell phone users who are at risk. This thing is 80% complete.
The official endpoint would be 1,115 sensors in California, quicker transmission times with additional sensors in Oregon and Washington as well. The whole point of it is to get some of the very few necessary seconds of warning before an earthquake hits, especially a large earthquake. We're talking about warnings to, say, I don't know, a heart surgeon, or an elevator, or a fire department, so they can throw the doors open so that the trucks don't get stuck inside. Those types of things. Several countries, Japan, Mexico, China, Turkey, have long had such early warning systems in place. So yesterday, just about this time, as a matter of fact, it was 11:42 according to the U.S. Geological Survey. I don't even think we did that intentionally, to do that at the time 24 hours later. But this epicenter 12 miles east of San Jose, at depth just over 4 miles, the Calaveras Fault Zone, where a magnitude 6.2 earthquake hit back in 1984. This earthquake yesterday was a 5.1. There were 18,000 Did You Feel It reports that were submitted to the Geological Survey by 1 o'clock yesterday, all the way from Central California north to Sacramento, northwest to Sonoma County. And they said that the USGS Shake Alert systems authorized the initial alert 5 seconds after the earthquake was detected. That estimate grew. They said it was a 4.8 at that time. The Shake Alert will detect an earthquake's initial waves of ground motion, which travel quickly and are weaker than the more damaging second set of waves. So the initial waves will trigger this high-speed telemetry to send the ground motion information to processing centers in Seattle, Menlo Park, and right over there in Pasadena. And within about 5 seconds, the algorithms analyze the data, identify the epicenter, the strength, and then publish a shake alert message.
It didn't work for everybody. Bill Demick and Cupertino, Danny Blanco and Gilroy got the earthquake alerts on their phones just as they started to feel that 5.1. Up in Berkeley, Stefan said he got the alert 5 to 10 seconds before the shaking started. And then Jerry Turin got it a minute after. Ayin Shi felt the quake in Fremont but did not get an alert. And USGS replied on Twitter with information on how to make sure your phone is set up to receive these. I have my phone set up not to receive these because I don't want a complete fire sale evacuation if I get an alert like that. Because I'll see a shake alert and then I'm going to think the 9.0 is coming and I will be shaking in my boots.
Well, ideally it tells you a general range of how strong the earthquake would be. For example, the earthquake alert that went out yesterday said that it would be in magnitude of about 4.5. And that is something where you're like, oh, wait, this is going to be fun, right? And that's when you sort of, you Chris Schauble the whole thing, and you just get a really fun look on your face, and you go, ooh, the earthquake, this is the earthquake coming fun. If it says something like it could be 6.5 plus, that's when you start grabbing supplies. And the shake alert system got its big trial back in September 13th when a magnitude 4.4 earthquake struck north of Santa Rosa. Now, as with Tuesday's earthquake, a bunch of people got alerts but didn't feel a whole lot of shaking. Some got the earthquake and then got the alert, and then for a lot of other people, the alert came just as the earthquake was being felt. So that's the other issue here is the earth moves like this. The waves that are generated through an earthquake basically travel at approximately the speed of sound. The earthquake alert is going to travel at the speed of light through all of the computers and the algorithms and the networks and that sort of thing. But sometimes there's enough going on there that it's going to be delayed, whether it's through your cell phone company or something like that. So I actually have the earthquake alert, Shake Alert LA on my phone. The problem is, and I don't know if this would impact whether or not I got an alert. I obviously didn't get one yesterday because we're not close enough.